once you log in, this is how the dashboard looks like. There are three options that show recommended. It actually depends on what is your current hiring as of now. For example, I'm hiring for a BD position or for a content writer. So the next recommended positions that I have is basically content assistant and sales representative. Now, to talk about the features, we have assessments, interviews, candidates, ATS Workbench, and more applications. So let's start with ATS Workbench, and gradually we're going to touch upon all the features that we have. Now, when we talk about ATS, it is basically the application tracking system. Here you can go and create new workbench. Now, when we talk about workbench, let's say that we are hiring for a sales representative profile, and we can do just next here. We can either upload a CSV file. So once you do a job posting on Naukri, you get a lot of responses to it. And it is very tiresome to actually download each of the CV. So there is an option of uploading a CSV file, downloading the CSV file, and here we have an option of uploading that file. So either you can just directly upload a CSV file or you can upload separate resume. I'll just show you how it happens. Upload the CVs, you can do it up to 1000 CVs. Then you have to add an industry. What industry are you hiring for? Then you have to add the role that you're hiring for. And then dependent on the basis of the role that you've put, your skills would pop up that are the most relevant as per the role. So you're gonna click as many as you think are important for your position. Either you can just add that. Also, we have an option of job description that is an optional. Either you can upload a JD or you can copy paste a JD, and also there's an option, for example, say that you're looking forward for an individual who has experience of sales majorly into IT. So if you're going to put it here in this column about the same, you're going to just find the candidates who have most of the experience in IT. Then you have to do upload and proceed. Once you do upload and proceed, what our platform has that other platform out there do not have is basically that you get a scoring in front of each CV that you've uploaded. And other than scoring, there is also an insight that tells you how does the platform, how has TESSA given this particular score to this particular candidate. So there is also insight to it. I'll show you how it works. Also, while those insights are being represented, there is also a part where you can just click on the CV and you will be able to access the CV of the candidate. Once there, so this kind of brings an authentication about, the platform that you are using for downloading, uploading, and screening your own CVs. So as you can see that Akshat Bal has gotten a score of 66.25%, and you're going to go into insights, you're going to see that there's an overall notes to it, JD alignment, skill match, also the analysis on the basis of LLMs and keywords. If you're going to click on the Akshat Bal CV, the CV is going to get open and you'll be able to see that how and why, how much is this CV relevant to the position that we have actually applied for. Now you can directly click the CVs that you think are the most relevant. Either you can create an assessment or an interview or export to CSV file. Now let's go to interview round. When we talk about interview, this is one of the most USPs of the platform. About the interviews, we have three types that we take care of. TESSA AI is the AI bot that takes the interview. The next two that we have is basically virtual interview and face-to-face. In virtual interview, you can again upload a file. However, we have already selected those two candidates and they're popping up here. You can just put this information that is required, and then all this information that is there in the curly brackets would be captured by the TESSA itself. So once you're going to do send invitation, a Zoom link would be sent to the interviewer as well as to the interviewee, so that both of them knows that this is the link. Also, you will get a 30 minutes prior reminder that the candidate has to join the interview, or you have the interview 30 minutes later. Now, the second type of interview that we offer is face-to-face interview, wherein again this information would be done by you. Since we have already selected two candidates who had scored the most into the ATS, again, all this information will be incorporated by itself. Once you're going to put this information, you can just do a send invitation. This is basically an invite that is sent to the candidates that have been invited for a face-to-face round of interview in their office. Now, let's talk about TESSA, one brilliant mind. So again, since we have the candidates here, this is the information that you're going to put. Now, The skills that you want. I'll just show you how it works. Say that we are hiring again for a sales representative. Ashmeet is the sender. The subject name is interview invite. Let's do it this only. Industry that I'm hiring for is IT. Role that I'm hiring for is a sales representative. Years of experience that I'm looking forward to is 4 to say 7 years. On the basis again, the skills have been popped up and you can click up to six skills at once. You have to start the link start time, link end time. In case you have any custom questions, you can add that. For example, say today you have a question of how many years of experience do you have in IT in sales? So that could be incorporated here. Then there is also an option of saying additional notes. For example, you want TESSA to ask the questions in a very strict manner because you are hiring for a comparatively a senior position. So those all information could be added here in the additional notes. Again, the information that is there in the curly brackets would be captured by itself, and you just have to do and send invitation, and the invite would be sent to these two candidates. Now let's talk about the reports that we have for this particular role. Just a second. Yeah. So this is how the report looks like. This is the overall score that is there. Basically the summary of whatever the interview went. However, we also have transcription. Transcription basically shows that what were the questions asked by the TESSA, what were the replies, basically the whole end-to-end conversation. The skills that were added during this AI interview, the TESSA interview, were talent acquisition, HR policy development, and psychology basics. So for all these three skills that were added, a particular score has been allotted. Now we also have work review. We have strengths and areas for improvement. TESSA not only analyzes how much subject knowledge does the person carry, but it also goes beyond it. How? It also captures what is the communication, how was the confidence, what was the technical depth, something that goes beyond the technical knowledge and assesses the personality of the candidate as a whole. Let's talk about the interview questions. Whatever questions were asked from TESSA during the time of interview, that were also captured, and the candidate's answer were also captured. Now again, one of our USPs is basically a trust score. What is that? It is our AI proctoring. Now in AI proctoring, we are very much particular about it and very much stringent about it. So the overall scores shows that how much can we rely on the candidate, that how much can we trust the candidate that he or she did not cheat. There's face detection that shows that while you were giving the interview, you were not looking off the screen for a longer period of time and your attention was actually there towards the screen. The noise detection shows that it was a quiet environment that you were giving the interview in. However, the questions arises that there are some extraneous voices that could not be, controlled. So TESSA has been made in such a way that it understands the noise between a human and other extraneous noises out there. So for example, if I'm speaking during the time of the interview and there is some second person sitting, so that is something that TESSA would be able to understand and distinguish that there are two people sitting during the time of interview. That is what detects as noise detection. The third is the device detection. While giving the TESSA interview, if you're using your cell phone or some other device, then again, that is also something that gets captured and is highlighted during the time of your report. So this is all about the report. Also, we also give you end-to-end video of how was the interview, how did it take place, everything that you have.
Welcome and thank you for joining today's AI-powered interview session.
This is how TESSA sounds like, and other that all the information has been here. Now let's talk about our next feature that is again most loved feature by our clients. It is the assessment. When we talk about assessments, we have technical, non-technical, aptitude, psychometric, and we also give you an option of creating from scratch. So there are a lot of clients out there who have their own set of questions, but then the question arises that they want AI proctoring to ensure that the candidate does not cheat. So there is where SkillSauce comes and helps you out. So in case you have your own set of questions, worry not, we have our own platform where you can use it and ensure that none of your candidates are cheating. Now I'll show you how this works. Let's go to technical assessment. Say that you're hiring for a backend position. Okay, let's do a backend. The position that I'm hiring for is, say, backend. Let's do a Python one, Yeah. Now the years of experience that you are looking forward to is 4 to 6 years. The skills that you want should be, the person should have good knowledge about Python, RESTful APIs, should have database development, microservices architecture. Once you do next, we also again give you a pre-made test and a custom test option, wherein again on the basis of the skills that you've added, you can custom your questions, or in pre-made test on the basis of skills that you've added and number of years of experience that you've put. TESSA works in such a way that it fetches the right questions, that makes a lot of sense as per the years of experience that you've put, and you get the best ever test. When we talk about the test, you can see here that all 4 skills that I've added have been shown. Now, what type of questions do we offer? We offer MCQs, we offer essays, and we also have coding questions. As you can just give it a quick read, only those candidates will be able to actually do this test properly who kind of have practical knowledge about the subject matter and not just theoretical. If they have not understood what it is all about, if they have not done it practically in their daily lives, they'll not be able to understand the questions. Now, we also have essay-based question wherein there is no right or wrong answer. In fact, there is an ideal answer, as you can see. What happens is, say this question has been given to 2 different candidates, candidate A and B. Obviously, their answer to this particular question would vary and their wordings would vary. So this actually, and their wordings would vary. So this actually work in a way that whosoever answer is most relevant to the ideal answer that has been provided here would get a higher score as compared to the other candidates. Now, again, what our platform offers that other platforms do not is the modification option. Once you do modify, you can edit the section. For example, I want to assess RESTful APIs first, then Python, then microservices architecture, and then database development. Once you're given a read to the question, you think that 25-26 minutes is such a nice time. It's the maximum time, and you do not wish to give that much of time to the candidates. So you can actually reduce the time from here, or you can just put any time and the time would reduce here automatically. Then you can do save. You can also edit the questions. You can change the sequence of the questions. Yeah. You can change the sequence of the question, you can edit the question, you can edit the option, anything that you feel is right and appropriate as per you, because you would know about your position and the candidates the best, and we are here to help you out. We can also add questions from here. Again, you can either do it manually in case you think that there's just 1 or 2 questions that are missing and you would like to assess your candidates on that, or you can do an add from question library. Once you do it, say you want a medium level of coding question. All right, let's do all and then let's see. Okay. Let's see that we want some MCQs regarding Django as well, because that is something that has not been there. So once you do it, you can click on the appropriate number of questions that you feel and you can do save selected, and those questions will be coming and showing it here. Once everything is done, you can just quickly do a create invitation wherein you can change the start time and expiry time as per your own convenience. You can autofill you can just upload the CV and all the information again would be captured by TESSA all by itself, and you can do send invitation and the invite link would be sent to the candidate. Now when we talk about the reports, I can also show you that. Just a second. Yeah. So you have your options of selecting anything from here. In case and you have to see a particular candidate's report, you can just write the name here. In case you just want to say that, who all have attempted, you can just do here and the candidates who have attempted would show. Now, for example, I'll just show you the report. This is the report. Again, as I was talking about the AI proctoring in the AI TESSA interview, we also have the same during the time of the assessments. So when you start any AI, TESSA AI, or in fact that you start with assessment, you get a lot of information and instructions beforehand to ensure that there is no cheating involved at all. So here you can see that there's a trust score of 70%. There was face detection. Probably the candidate was looking outside of the screen for longer period of time as the proctoring was on throughout. The environment was quiet and it was a device free. Why the 70% score has been given is because there were 2 times of switching detected. So while you're giving the interview, the switching of tabs is not allowed. In case you do that, you do get a warning. Once a candidate does change the tab thrice, the test gets shut and it gets automatically submitted. And here the status shows cheating detected and it was a suspicious activity. The test got automatically submitted. Now once we do, you get a particular score about the skills that you've added. You also get what is the question, what is the right answer, what is the wrong answer. If any candidate has given a wrong answer, then you get a allotted right answer towards it. Now, the next feature that we have is candidates. This is one of the most helpful features for our clients. How? Because we have a lot of candidates, a lot of pool. So we can actually dump that pool here and we can organize it in such a way that even if I do it today and I need to revisit my groups, say after a month, I'll be in a position where I'll have an understanding that what did I do a month prior. I'll show you how. You can either create candidate profiles. Say I'm hiring for a sales representative role and I have good 20 candidates. I can upload those 20 CVs here and it would be shown. And then I can save and add to the candidate group. I'll show you how it happens. Say I'm just liking these 3 profiles. So this would be done. Once it's done, you can just do save and add to candidate group. Let's do, yeah. Now the next thing that we have is candidate groups. For example, say that you have clicked on these 3 people and you know that these 3 people are from the data scientist. So you can either add to group, you can create an assessment and ensure that the test is been sent to these 3 people, or you can schedule an interview with these people. However, whatever is most convenient to do, everything could be done in just one click. The next thing that we have again is more applications. Our platform also helps you in generating the JD. How it happens is you just need to add, say that you're hiring, you have to make it for a sales representative. The industry that you're hiring again is in IT. Role you're hiring is sales representative. Skills that you want is client relationship, lead generation, negotiation, and technical sales, because we're hiring for an IT position. The years that I'm looking forward to, it's 3 to 6 years. Job type is going to be whatever suits your organization. Location, again, whatever you think is appropriate and wherever your office is. Now, what we give that is not there usually out there is the tone selection. Do you want the JD to be professional, friendly, dynamic, inclusive, detailed, result driven? So I would say that I want it professional, detailed, and result driven. You can add up to 3 options in one go. In case you want any additional information, you can add it here. And once you do a generate JD, the JD would be generated as per your own requirements. You can just make changes here. You can do save and next. You can download it as a PDF or copy it. However, it is convenient for you. These are already made JDs. So whatever JD you want to make, it is going to get saved here like this. The next thing that we have is question library. We have around 320,000 questions for difficulty level. We have for MCQs, coding, essay, and any skill that you click, you will get questions. So for example, you are hiring for any particular role and you're not really sure what kind of questions should I ask him or her, or would it be easy, would it be medium? Worry not, because our platform even solves that for you. Now, obviously, being SkillSauce, that is helping you, giving you end-to-end solutions, we also have some very exciting tools that are going to come very, very soon. Candidate Lookup, LinkedIn Import, Company Explorer, and Email Verify are few of them. Once they are live, I'll help you out again with the same. Now, let's talk about the most important thing that comes in everybody's mind is what is the billing and payment option. Now, we are into a credit system. How does it work? For 4 credit is equal to 1 AI TESSA interview or for 1 assessment. In case you're spending 50 US dollars, you're going to get 8 credits. Okay, so that shows you that you will be able to 80 divided by 4 would be 20. So you'll be having 20 either AI assessments or 20 TESSA AI interviews, whatever is convenient for you. In case you are spending $100, you're going to get 200 credits, wherein you will have around 50 AI interviews or you will be having 50 AI assessments. In case you're looking forward for a bulk one, we are happy to help and we can negotiate on the prices further. Your credit balance is this much because this is what I have bought as of now. So let's see how it works for you. Thank you.